Welcome to day 2 of Change Your Breath, Change Your Life with breathing mechanics. Take a deep breath in through the nose and a deep breath out. Beautiful. One more time. Deep breath in and deep breath out. Deep breath in as deep as you can. Fill the body, fill the lungs, hold at the top. Soften the shoulders, soften the face. Feel the breath gather thinking intention and exhale it down into the ground beneath you. Beautiful. 2 more times just like that. Deep breath in. Hold at the top. Soften shoulders, soften face. Feel this breath gather thinking intention. Exhale it down into the core of the earth. Beautiful. Deep breath in. Really fill the lungs even more. Good. Now hold at the top, softening shoulders, softening face. Feel this breath gather thinking intention and exhale it down to the ground beneath you. As you'll notice from every day here on out, we'll be starting with this exercise, this tool, which we learned yesterday. And the really amazing thing about this is the more often we use it, the more often we return to it, especially in times of hardship, and combined with the softening of the body, which we also learned on day 1. The more we use this, the more our life changes. Today, we're going to be diving in to how to breathe properly and breathing mechanics. And when we breathe properly, the importance of this, it can't be overlooked. We use these breathing mechanics not for the sake of using good breathing mechanics, but it increases our immunity. There are certain receptors at the bottom of the lungs that never really get fully activated if we don't take deep, full breaths. And we can never really turn over all of the air in our lungs, but that's especially true when we're taking small, shallow breaths. On top of all of this, as we move our diaphragm down our body in a normal, healthy breath, we actually not only massage our internal organs and help with digestion as well as other important bodily processes, but we massage the vagus nerve, which is generally how we view life. It not only directly touches the immune system, but it also controls other aspects of our mood. For example, anxiety, and this sends signals of rhythmicity up to the brain, telling the brain that it's safe. So how do we breathe properly? There's many different ways to breathe, and we want to make sure that the diaphragm is moving properly, just like if there was a movement we couldn't do. For example, if we couldn't stick our hand out in front of us to grab a cup or to turn a doorknob, it wouldn't be the end of the world. However, it would be inconvenient if we needed to turn a doorknob or grab a cup for our nightly tea. And maybe we need to get out of somewhere fast and we need to grab a doorknob and get out of the door. So just having the capacity to do it and to move in many different degrees of freedom provides us with availability to do different things. In breathing specifically, sometimes if we've had traumatic events or an event that has really gripped us, we sometimes can't pull breath fully into the chest, almost like the breath is caught there, held. And we never quite let go. Sometimes if we can't breathe into our stomach, it's a sign that we don't feel fully supported by the universe, that mothering, loving spirit. And for athletes, well, breathing horizontally for athletes is actually really important. So let's explore these different types of breathing now. Taking one hand, placing it on the stomach, and one hand, placing it on the top of the chest. Keeping the top hand completely still, inhale, breathe into the belly, feel that you're pushing your hand away from your spine. Exhale, feel the belly move towards the spine, hand come towards the spine. Beautiful. Some people have this reversed. And if you do, that's okay. You're still a good person. We're just learning how to move the diaphragm properly. And when we inhale, the diaphragm moves down in the body to expand the lungs. So again, deep breath in, feel like you're pushing your hand away from your body as your belly starts to stick out. And as you exhale, your hand moves towards your spine. You can practice this as much as you need, and actually you can practice any part of this as much as you need, especially if there's a part that feels a little sticky or not natural. I'd recommend practicing it multiple times throughout the day in order to fully feel it. The first step is always awareness. Awareness of the situation. I can do this really well, or maybe this is my challenge and I should work on it. Just awareness to the area allows us to start working on it. Over time, you will feel it even if you don't right now. With the hand still on the belly and the hand still on the chest, keeping the bottom hand still now, we're going to breathe into the top of our chest, feeling our top hand rise as we inhale and lower as we exhale. Making sure that bottom hand stays still as we inhale, rise the chest. And exhale, lower the chest. Many times people think they're breathing into the chest. Really, they're using their traps or auxiliary muscles in the back that shouldn't be or don't need to be working so hard. And again, breathing into the chest is, like I said, some people can, some people can't. Some people it's easy, some people it's hard. It doesn't make anyone a better or worse person. It's just, can we move the diaphragm through the body? This next one might be the most challenging one, yet one of the most gratifying when we learn how to do it. Taking both of our hands, like we're pointing our love guns in the front, pew, 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 with our pointer fingers pointing straight out and our thumbs facing straight up, like we're holding our little love pistols. We're going to take our thumb and wrap it around our rib cage and our pointer fingers facing towards each other. So we're holding our rib cage, and if those instructions didn't make sense for you or it wasn't intuitive, you can hold the rib cage however you'd like. We're holding our rib cage with our elbows pointing out like we have wings. And on the inhale, we're going to try to keep our belly and chest from moving. As we inhale, our ribs move farther away from each other. Our hands move farther away from each other. And as we exhale, our hands move closer together. Our ribs get closer together. Inhale, ribs move far apart. Exhale, ribs come together. Sometimes breathing like this, not only is this horizontal breathing really efficient for athletes, but sometimes breathing in this manner can release a lot of stuck energy whether that's muscular tension or emotional tension from the rib cage. And it can yield a lot of release, a lot of benefit. Practicing this throughout the day is a really, really good practice. And if it's your first time doing it, it may even feel like a workout. The final breathing pattern that we're going to try today, or breathing mechanic that we are going to try today, is breathing into the low back. So much of our lung tissue actually resides in our back body. And all of these breathing mechanics, which we have been running through today, will help loosen up muscles, tissues, joints associated with the back when done properly. You may even feel lighter as it's releasing emotional tension that we don't even need to talk about in order to let go. While this is the least intuitive of the breathing mechanics, it can actually be some of the most freeing, breathing into the low back, because when we breathe into the low back, we really turn on our parasympathetic nervous system. So that rest, digest, safety, healing. And sometimes it's nice in the middle of the day, if we're feeling a little bit too amped up, to try breathing into our low back. A nice way to feel this is whatever you're sitting on. If you're sitting in a chair with a back, pressing your low back into the chair, and then trying to expand your back and push your low back even more firmly into the chair. We'll try it now. So see if you can feel your back contacting the chair. Inhale. Really see if that breath can push the low back even more firmly into the chair. And exhale, soften. Beautiful. One more time. Deep breath into the low back. And exhale, soften. Breathing mechanics are so important. Practicing these throughout the day. Maybe they were all super easy for you, and you got a little reminder of how to breathe in certain ways. Maybe these are all completely new and foreign, and now you have some good homework and some areas to improve upon. As my teacher says, the largest room in the world is the room for improvement. Regardless of where you were, knowing that just awareness of these different ways to breathe will open them up slowly over time, not to get frustrated or overly attached to any style of breathing. Observe how you feel. This is the most important part of the practice, because it trains the mind, it trains the central nervous system to be in this state of consciousness. If we quickly move from one thing to another, if we skip this vital aspect, we're missing out on the largest portion of the practice. It's through consistent training and observation of our inner feeling state after we do the practice. How is this different? How do I feel different from when I started? Maybe even from earlier in the day, maybe even from yesterday. What's the difference? How do I feel? And with time and practice, we stabilize this state of consciousness as our waking, regular, walking around consciousness. See you tomorrow.